Hey, I'm Adam Dusko, and this is Stock Screamer. In this video, we're going to look at an under 5 stock that you may want to consider, and that is a company called EvoFem Biosciences, or EvoFem Biosciences. So small, I'm not even exactly sure how you pronounce it. But anyway, we're going to talk about it, and before we do, I would ask you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not already, and if you have already, I thank you for doing so. So if buying individual stocks can be risky, buying small individual stocks can be even riskier. However, if you have a diversified portfolio and you want to commit a small piece of it to going after some smaller stocks that feel like they could have some room to really run, it can be an interesting thing, number one, and then obviously you could have the potential for some big gains if your choices soar over time. So in this video, I'm going to look at a stock that is under $5 per share that is making news today, and that is EvoFem Biosciences, or EvoFem Biosciences, and the ticker is EVFM. So EvoFem has jumped on the news that their contraceptive gel called Amphora has completed a phase 3 clinical trial, and it appears to have good results with a 98% plus efficacy rate of preventing pregnancy, which compares favorably to other forms of birth control. The stock has gone up over 10%. As I make this video, it's right around 385 or 390. So why is this news? Well, number one, Amphora is a gel that does not have any hormones, and it is not a drug that you have to go on like you might a birth control pill and then be on those hormones and have potential side effects from them. It can be a one-time use for people that either don't want hormones or can't use that form of contraceptive. So that is one piece of it that makes it different than some other things that are on the market. And number two is the fact that it's gotten as far as it has within these clinical trials. So to get to a phase 3 clinical trial and get to a place where it appears to have been successful is not an easy thing to do. A lot of potential drugs never even make it this far. It can be a 10-year process from sort of the drug discovery until it actually gets commercialized, if it gets commercialized. So to be here is a big deal. So what EvoFem's plan going forward now is, now that they have these results that they've just announced, they plan to do a new drug application, an NDA, with the Food and Drug Administration in the second quarter of 2019, and they are hoping to start commercializing this drug by early 2020. So for potential investors for a small stock like this, there's good news here and there's bad news. Now, the good news is pretty much what I just said. You had a clinical trial that, you're at phase 3. It seems to have had positive results. Getting this close is huge. So many companies never make it this far. So this is a big deal, and it appears to be a product that, has some differentiation in the market as well. Now, the bad news is it's not approved yet. We don't know if it will be approved. We're hearing, what the results were of this phase 3 clinical trial, but we don't know anything about how the FDA may feel about it once they actually do their application. So as good as things may look, you don't know what's going to happen next. And so obviously a huge piece is whether the FDA says yes or no. Now, the second piece is, if it is approved, we're still talking about maybe a year or a little more than a year as I make this video before it is actually on the market. So as an investor, your question often, always is, how long do I want to tie up my money? Do I want to, jump in on this investment? Do I have such a belief in this company that I want to make a long-term investment in it? Or are you going to, if you're someone who likes to trade, try and jump in at a certain point when there is news and then jump out again? I don't know. But the, no matter who you are, it's hard to know what is going to happen and how long it's going to take to happen. So unless you're a long-term investor that really believes, then you have to decide if you want to put money into it, when you want to put money into it, how long you are willing to wait. And then obviously the third piece to the puzzle is, if it is approved, will it be successful? We don't know if women actually, want to use this type of birth control, and whether it'll be something that is used on a wide scale. So you go through all this process to get something to the market that you think is a good product that there will be demand for. However, you don't know. So they can, could get there, and after all this, what feels like a lot of good news, it just might not sell. On the other hand, it might, sell like crazy, and they could be a huge stock in years to come. And that is kind of how things work in the market when you look at under 5 stocks. Now, there's an interesting Inc. magazine article that I was reading about the company that tells you about some of the past history of it that is worth a read too. I will put a link to that down below. Otherwise, like I said, this is one of the things that happens with under 5 stocks. You've got an interesting story, an interesting company here. But is it a place to put your money? There's still so much uncertainty here, and that is generally why you have stocks that are under $5 per share, because there's so much uncertainty about the future of the company, and so that's obviously what you have to consider. So do your own due diligence. I'm just a person on the internet talking about stocks, things that I find interesting and could be investing opportunities, but obviously you need to do your own homework and make sure you are buying things that you understand and understand why you are buying them. So that is it. Thank you as always for watching, and we'll see you next time.